Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of BTC, taking a look at what has been going on most recently and what we think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, stay up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in your Discord, guys, you are missing a trick. It is completely free. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7 and it's the first place we go to notify you of the ins and the outs of everything that is going on in the crypto space. So why not check it out, linked in the description down below. Now on this video I am going to be using 𝗕𝗓𝗪 theory. If you are completely new to 𝗕𝗓𝗪 theory or just want a deeper understanding as to kind of what is going on with all these different letters, A, B, C's and WXY, WXYXZ and basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all that kind of stuff, then why not check out the Cheeky School in the description down below and learn 𝗕𝗓𝗪 theory. If you have taken a course and you're looking for just a little bit more of an understanding, then we are now offering coaching as well via the Cheeky School. Check it out, linked in the description down below. Okay, let's make a start here. Bitcoin paired up with USDT on the hourly chart and Binance is the data source. Now, following on from yesterday, we were saying that we were looking at, unfortunately, a bit of a break to the downside, and that's exactly where we've ended up, right back down in our demand area, just down here. Okay, if I grab hold of my label, can see the demand area. Okay, so we come back down here and typically like this demand area, this is where the buyers are. You can see that these wicks, they come in and the price closes above. Now down here we have actually closed a couple of candles down nice and low, but then we started to move right back up again and we're above the demand zone. So it does appear that this demand zone is still holding out, and the supply area just at the top here actually kind of, you know, lived up to its name of where this is where the sellers are. Now we did peak a little bit higher, and you know, I could relabel this or move it a little bit. I think I'm going to leave it there for now, just to kind of see how it goes. And we have got a few additional supply areas just at the top. So when we take a look at this structure, we can see that actually it looks like we may have come down in a 5-wave move. And let me just go ahead and do some sense checks right down here. And yeah, I'd say just check to see exactly where that wick there goes. That's a little short of the 1.236. So we might end up coming down just a fraction more, at least to 16,554. And the reason is it would look something like this. We come down with wave 1, up here to wave 2. This is wave 3, up there is wave 4. And then we come down here into the 5th final wave. And this would typically be right in this little area here, as I said, 16,540, so 16,554, sorry, if I can get my words out this morning, and 16,492 right down at the bottom there. So that would be typically the area of interest for that final 5th wave movement. It will be interesting to kind of see if that plays out. Now, if this is a beginning of a 5-wave move, then we would expect to come down deeper still. We'd have a bit of an ABC corrective move coming back up. And then, of course, we would follow this with an additional 5-wave structure taking us down probably towards this double bottom area here overall. Now, the reason for this, of course, a minimum expectation would be a zigzag, which is technically an ABC structure, or a 5 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down. That would be your minimum expectation. This could, of course, go and turn it into a lot more of a trend-based structure to move to the downside, which would be 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, and obviously we'd have to apply all of the rules that are associated with that. Think of it as one of these 5-wave moves just on a bigger scale. Inside each of these, you'd have 5 moves. So for BTC here, the expectation should be that we're probably in some kind of like minor wave 4 position right now, ending diagonal possibly, before coming right down into this last little bit. Now, from our stochastic RSI, we are reasonably high, and you know, we can actually see this thing come down if we need to. So it'd be interesting to kind of see how this kind of plays out on our hourly chart, but we are very, very close to a bit of a move to the upside. So on our 4-hour, we're oversold. On the 8-hour, we're just peaking down here in the oversold area. On the 12-hour, we've come down quite nicely. We've still got a little bit more to go, though. Same with the 16-hour, same with the 20-hour, just touching down here. The daily is down just on this low end already. So it does look like we have some progression here to the upside to be had, but we just need to finish off this structure. So yeah, my expectations are that we come down, we bounce up, then we come down again. The other thing to kind of consider here is that maybe this is a finishing move to an irregular flat, which would mean if I remove this one, it would mean it would look like this. If I come down here, for example, and just show you what that looks like, you've got 3 waves here, 3 waves here, 5 waves. Essentially, that would be a much larger WXY. In fact, I should probably use WXY. W, X, and Y like this. And essentially, it is basically 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and the C wave would peak higher than the origin level of the first 3 waves, and then 5 waves coming down. So an irregular flat like that could be also on the horizon here. So keeping an eye on that, because if that is the case, then we can come up and talk about reaching this higher zone still at the 17,200 level. Okay, so there's still all those possibilities, a lot of things to kind of consider overall. But for now, it looks like we still have a fraction further down to go, and we're probably just grabbing liquidity, of which if I throw liquidity on here, you can see that there is a reasonable amount of liquidity just up here and not so much coming down here. But you know, my expectations are that we still come down just that fraction further, and it might just be that actually what we have to do is liquidate these short positions before coming down here, grabbing all that liquidity from the long positions, and then we can finally move on up. And so just kind of bear that in mind. It sounds crazy that, you know, we're talking about all that money just being liquidated, and fortunately, this is an unregulated space, and the market makers do like to grab hold of that liquidity. You can see it getting hit right now as we kind of pull this in here. You can kind of see this liquidity getting hit. And just as that price moves up, I do expect this price to come back down, though. You can see that we're peaking up into that overbought area on this hourly chart just as we grab that liquidity. What we want to do here is want to make sure that we do not peak above 16,755. That would break the structure, so just kind of keep that in mind, that we'd have to stay below that particular area. Otherwise, all this is basically a larger ABC structure, or 3-wave structure more specifically, and all of that stuff. So just kind of keep that in mind. I would still expect this to be an ending diagonal at this point, though, where we kind of have this kind of structure here coming on just like this. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind overall. But for Bitcoin, I do think, yeah, one more push to the downside and then a bit of a rally to the upside. And then once that is done, then we can start talking about the deeper moves to the downside. Let me get to the stocks there, because we are still, of course, talking about coming down into these lows. None of that has changed. We are still thinking about, you know, 11,600 to 13,900. This yellow box area here, this is an area I do think we're going to come to at some point. So when I come to my daily chart, bring this in, you can see that we are looking at breaking down like we have done consistently through this bear market, with the typical kind of stuff that we always see here, which are the higher highs and the higher lows and all that kind of stuff right inside there. So nothing unusual going on here. Very much the same as we've been talking about for a while. Basically, we're setting up the higher highs, the higher lows, and we're always breaking down from those. We are waiting for a much bigger reversal pattern. We're just not seeing that just yet. But the second that we do, then I do think that's going to be a fantastic time for BTC. But for now, all we are doing is essentially setting ourselves up to consistently and regularly pull back, but also trap out a lot of bulls out there. So just kind of bear these things in mind. Overall, I do think Bitcoin's progressing quite nicely. At least to the downside. There is definitely going to be some cheaper rates going for many altcoins, but I do think a relief bounce is coming, so just kind of keep an eye on that. I'm going to leave this video right there, though, guys. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, do check it out, linked in the description below. If you want to know more about Elliott Wave theory, check out cheekyschool.com. Until the next one, guys, have a fantastic day.